Hey guys, it's me, Udoka. I'm in my car. It's really late. I want to talk about something. I'm going to try to talk about it briefly because I could ramble forever on this. I want to talk about why people who are successful in network marketing leave network marketing. This came up because me and my friend were talking about Christianity and churches and deconstruction and the problems with leadership in a lot of these churches, like Hillsong and mega churches. There's something wrong with the leadership. And that's the same reason people leave network marketing. And I would say people who are successful and people who weren't successful, but they really wanted to be, it's a problem with the leadership. And it's not a problem that, the leader wasn't good enough or anything like that. The problem is that these positions of power, whether you're the head of a church or you're the head of a big network marketing team, these positions of power seem to attract narcissistic leaders. First, let me clarify, when I say network marketing, I'm not talking about a Ponzi scheme where initial investors are paid back by new investors and those new investors are paid back by newer investors, and it falls apart because eventually there's not enough new investors to fully pay back all the old investors. I'm not talking about a Ponzi scheme. MLM is more similar to network marketing, but the big difference is, this is big, is that MLM or multi-level marketing require recruiting to make money. Like if you're in an MLM, and you are in an MLM if you get paid to recruit. If you said, I made $10,000 part-time, it's not because you had $10,000 worth of customers. It's because you had $10,000 worth of recruits. You get paid to recruit. Recruits bring you $200, $500, $1,000. Customers bring you $10, $20, $30. Maybe $100 or $150 if you're a good salesperson. So obviously, the bulk of your money comes from recruiting. Network marketing involves recruiting. You're not recruiting to dive into the pockets of your recruit. You're recruiting to have a large distribution network. So I always say, who makes more money, the real estate agent or the real estate broker? The broker. Why? Because the real estate broker has 10 real estate agents that are selling houses and the broker gets a cut. That's similar to the network marketing model. You don't get paid as a broker, you don't get paid money when you bring in a new real estate agent. You get paid money when that agent sells a house. In the company that I was in, recruiting was heavily emphasized. You won prizes, you got recognition, you got special privileges for recruiting because there was no compensation for recruiting. And the goal of the company was to become as large as possible. So how do you get a company to grow really big without paying your agents for recruiting? You give them recognition. And I find the people who prefer recognition to actual cash money, because let me tell you, the recruiting is driven so hard that people will forgo sales. People will literally not learn the product and not learn how to sell the product, even though this is a product that is needed, is like normal. It's a normal product. You're providing something that people buy anyway. You just need to be the one that they know to call rather than whoever down the street. And this is a product that you can make thousands of dollars from just one client. You can make, it's very normal to make $500, $1,000, $2,000 from one client. It's kind of like real estate, right? It's like if you became a real estate agent and you were more concerned about getting more real estate agents to come with you than you did actually selling a house that can pay you 10 grand. You know what I mean? It's like you become a real estate agent and then you don't learn how to sell a house. You just focus on recruiting more agents. Why did you do that? Because you get instant recognition. You get that instant dopamine hit. Whereas if you just focus on, let me learn how to sell a house. Well, it takes a while to sell a house. It takes a month, 2 months, 3 months. It takes a while to sell that house and get your 10 grand. Whereas if you recruit, instant gratification. The kind of company I was in, people were focused on that instant gratification. And that, I mean, manipulation comes everywhere, right? Like, I'm sure like at your local Keller Williams, there's office politics. But this level of narcissistic manipulation from our leader was disgusting. If you've ever seen Breaking Bad, my leader, when I say leader, I'm talking about basically the person, if there's the founder of the company and the headquarters, it's like the person that is like right under the headquarters. Like this person is in charge of a whole bunch of people, okay? And that leader for me was a narcissistic leader. If you've ever seen Breaking Bad, he was like Don Eladio. If you've never seen Breaking Bad, Don Eladio is the head of the Mexican cartel, or maybe Michoacan cartel. Yeah, he's the head of the Michoacan Mexican cartel. And just go find on YouTube clips of Don Eladio. That tells you everything you need to know. Now, naive me, I didn't have experience with people like this, or men like this. I didn't have experience. I'm sure if you've had experience, like if you go watch a clip of Don Eladio and you have had experience with men like that, you instantly, like in your soul, like, ugh. And I'm sure so many people that met my Don Eladio, I'm sure so many people have felt that. And I've had people tell me so many things. So this Don Eladio, he manipulates people's emotions. He thrives off of people fighting for him and fighting to be around him and wanting to be with him and looking up to him. If you were to recruit somebody that made more money than him or had a, better lifestyle than him, he would insult that person in order to try to peg that person down in hopes that person will become submissive to him. It doesn't usually work, and that's a shame, because there are other people in the same company who would literally take that person that my Don Eladio negged, take that person, get that person licensed, get that person everything that they need, and that person goes on to make, 6 figures. So I'm doing this part-time. This is my 3rd business, and I made 6 figures in whatever. Okay? Don Eladio has a big ego that constantly needs to be stroked. Now, I didn't understand how that was important to me. As I got along in this company, I was just focused on myself, my achievements, my abilities, what I can do. I didn't see Don Eladio as a hindrance to my career until I achieved a certain level. I achieved a level that we were told you have complete control of your business, and you're promised so many things. Okay, so I get to this level and I'm given respect, only to find this respect only goes so far, because I didn't do this for respect. I mean, I played along because it's fun. It's fun to get respect. It's fun to get accolades. It's fun to, yay! It's fun. It is a lot of fun. But at the end of the day, I joined the business to have a business. And the business model sounded good. The type of product sounded good. Everything sounded good. Okay, it's network marketing. That's fine. I can figure this out, because the idea is you're supposed to make good money just by yourself, and then your recruits make you even more money. It's a win-win. But that's when I started to see the truth. I started to understand how the company is structured. I started to understand what is Don Eladio's relationship to the other leaders in this company. I started to understand how Don Eladio's misbehavior with his colleagues affected my business and the business of everyone under him. I saw how Don Eladio relationship with the founder affected our business. I saw how Don Eladio's bad behavior with recruits, with people at my position, at my leadership position, I saw how that negatively affected the entire organization, his entire organization. It reduced morale. It increased infighting. It cost office politics, which is something he would often say, there's no politics, there's no office politics if you join us. But actually, there's more office politics than I've ever seen in my life. Because Don Eladio doesn't care about anything other than his ego. I started feeling very uncomfortable when I got to this leadership position, because I saw how he was lying. Like, my recruits, my babies, they're not my babies, they're grown people, okay? But they were babies in the industry. And I was so excited to show them, look at this. You can help people and make money. And if you want to have a business, you can have a business. I was so excited. Only to see Don Eladio lie to my people. Manipulate my people. Shame me, my colleagues, my people, and their people. The way he treats people is not okay. And at first I just thought, you can ignore him. Don't listen to him. Don't talk to him. But then when I got to that leadership position, I saw you can't run from it, because he's literally trying to train me and my fellow colleagues to be like him. He's trying to teach us to be a manipulator like him. And he uses every tactic in the book he can think of. Shame, praise, like he tries it all. That's what made me uncomfortable. Because when the leader behaves a certain way and encourages a certain behavior, it trickles down. And furthermore, I'm expected to defend it. And I couldn't. I didn't. That caused problems. And when you're working on a team, if somebody on the team causes problems, that affects your business, and it kind of affects everybody else's business. I started to see that he wanted to have as much control as possible over everyone in his organization. So he manipulates. And if anybody tries to go off on their own, do it their way, like Don Eladio, he doesn't, my Don Eladio doesn't do that, but he tries to verbally and mentally. I started asking the people who used to work with my Don Eladio, The people who made over $100,000. I asked them, why did you leave Don Eladio? They said the same reasons that I'm uncomfortable with Don Eladio, and they revealed to me more truths that I didn't even know that people were trying to keep from me about Don Eladio, and how the way he runs his business is not the way other people in the company are running their business. Then I asked the people who make over 100,000, why didn't you leave? So I asked the people who worked with Don Eladio who made six figures, why did you leave? And then the ones that didn't leave, that made over six figures, I asked them, why didn't you leave? They gave me brainwashed. Basically, the basic answer they gave me was, I make too much money to leave. Which is sad, because the people who left have the mindset of, if I made six figures under bad narcissistic leadership, I can make even more in a healthy environment. And the people who stayed, their mindset is, I got this far with Don Eladio, so I need to stay. What side are you on? I'm on the side of the people who left. Because at the end of the day, you also want to be happy. Which, maybe the people who stayed, I know a couple of them are unhappy. I actually know they're unhappy, but the money is worth it, and they feel like if they left, they would have to start over. They don't know if they can do it without Don Eladio. And honestly, I feel like that might be brainwashing from Don Eladio, because I have heard Don Eladio tell people, you're nothing without me. Don Eladio is disgusting, bruh. And then there's some people who, they're like, it is what it is. I make my money, I'm happy. And the toxic system that Don Eladio has created, it benefits them. Right? So why leave? Okay, so once I realized I don't F with you people who stayed, I do F with the people who left. I started to ask more people, company-wide, not just people working with Don Eladio, but people who work with people who are working with leaders who didn't suck as bad as Don Eladio. Let me also mention Don Eladio's income. If all the people at Don Eladio's level, they all make at least $800,000. Don Eladio didn't even make half. Like, the worst income earner in his circle, he didn't even make half of what that person made. So your money is going down year after year. It's going down. It's embarrassingly low. Like, let me tell you, in the company, Don Eladio's income was so low, it is literally embarrassing. They had to leave off Don Eladio from investor reports, because the company had investors. They had to leave his name off. Like, they had to exclude Don Eladio from like almost everything, because his income was so low, it was embarrassing. That didn't cause Don Eladio to change. His people who were making money under him left. That didn't cause him to change. People like me asking him questions. Hey, why did you say this that way? Why did you do that to that person? Hey, does that seem fair to you? That doesn't seem fair. That didn't cause him to change. It became pretty evident to me, not even hearing people's testimonies, because let me tell you, the people who stayed say similar things as the people who left. The only difference is the people who stayed have the added, I'm making money, so I might as well stay. They have that added thing. Or, bless their hearts, they say, well, I have to stay loyal to this guy. And I'm like, why? This is not your son. This is not your family member. He's not even your friend. I just have to stay loyal to this guy. Okay. They believe in karma. They believe, it'll be bad karma if they leave. If they leave, then, people might leave them. Bad karma. Whatever. Don Eladio is not a good guy. Everybody knows it. But the people who stay don't want to acknowledge it. They try to ignore it. And if you notice it as a new underling, you're gaslit about it. If you're making money and you have self-respect, you believe your life is worth something. You believe you shouldn't be altering your dreams, your time, where your family lives. You shouldn't be altering any of these things for the dreams of a Don Eladio. You will leave. Because if you can make 6 figures with a narcissist, you can make 6 figures and more without a narcissist, plus enjoy your life. That's exactly what I did. So actually, yeah. We left Don Eladio. We have significantly increased our income and are happier in our life, definitely. If you've been following me here on YouTube, you've been watching my journey and have been able to get mental health treatments and things like that. But when I left, I also learned that Don Eladio is not it's not the only Don Eladio. There are other people who are they are. There are other people who are narcissistic leaders like my Don Eladio. The difference was that they're either actually working. So Don Eladio in Breaking Bad doesn't actually work. He just orchestrates things. That's my Don Eladio. The other people at his level, even though they're making 1.2 million, they still work. Like, they're still driving to a client's house or Zooming the client, calling the client, and doing, like, they're still working. Furthermore, they will say, hey, you newbie, follow me. And they will take you to shadow them. My Don Eladio didn't do that. So, yeah, if my Don Eladio was working and was having me shadow him and having me see how he treats the average client, a high-end client, maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's like, that's just Don Eladio's personality, but he's actually teaching me something. That's what the other ones are doing. Or there are other ones who aren't doing that. They're not working. It's pretty evident they're not working. That was my other qualm with the company overall. Because I noticed there were people who are trying to teach me something, but I can tell they don't work. And, they might say, well, I did work and that's how I got to where I am. But it's like, but I don't know what kind of work you did. I don't know if you recruited 2 people who were really good and that got you to where you are. I don't know. All I know is I'm here now and you are not working now and you're trying to teach me something that is BS because you don't do it. That was a qualm I had. That was a big issue I had with the company, and a lot of companies do this. Now, there were people who made a lot of money who did work, so when they spoke, I listened because I knew that is what you're doing. I know that's what you're doing because the way you're teaching me, the way the way you just role played that off the spot, the way you just showed me an actual client on the spot, I know that's what you're doing. And then actually when I do what you just said, it worked for me. I know that's what you're doing. The ones that weren't working, they'll give you advice. It's stupid advice. They can barely spit it out. And then when you try to take their advice, it doesn't work. Okay? That was an issue I was having with the company overall that was frustrating me company-wide. Only to realize, oh, it's because there are other Don Eladios in this company. But they don't have as much control. Well, some of them did, and they lost half their team, actually. But it seems to me like the ones who were able to stay, they were able to have control over their business, is what it seems like to me. And when I look at our competitors, like other network marketing companies that are similar to the one that I was in, I'm noticing that's what they're doing. They find their niche. They find this is what works for us, and they go for it. And they're letting their people do their own thing. But when you work under a Don Eladio who doesn't let you be you, and not just that, but they're toxic, it's not worth staying if you have confidence in yourself. But if you've allowed Don Eladio to manipulate you into thinking that you're nothing without Don Eladio, and if you leave Don Eladio, you're scum, it's hard to leave. And it's hard to leave when you haven't been able to have a life. Because in network marketing, you're working 24/7. Like technically, it's 3 a.m. You can get on Instagram Live and recruit some people. You're working 24/7. Your mind is working 24/7. You're mentally. And Don Eladio was constantly putting the pressure. If you don't do this week, you're worthless. The next week comes. Oh, well, you can redeem yourself for last week. If you don't do it this week, you're worthless. Don Eladio all the time. Meanwhile, he doesn't work. My Don Eladio got married and he makes his wife do all that work. So he can then say, my wife just did the thing I asked you to do. It's not that hard. Low-key, not even realizing he's insulting his wife. He does it all the time. He's low-key calling his wife stupid. Anyway, this is why successful people leave a network marketing company. Because it's full of Don Eladios. That, or the core foundation of the company has changed. The core value of the company has changed. They joined a company, they joined a group of people because they believe in ABC and it's turning into XYZ, which was happening at my company as well. It was. Because when I look at old videos, I could see there was a time where everybody was actually diligently working. And when somebody was teaching, it's because that's literally what they did. And now it's a hoorah show. And you attract people who want a hoorah show. Rather, you can attract anyone because it's fun, you make friends, things like that. But the people who stay are the people who care more about a hoorah show than they do about an actual income. So, in our industry, if you want to recruit people who are married, have kids, have responsibilities, because those are the type of people who tend to take things seriously and they tend to aim for more money, right? If you have a mortgage and a kid's college fund to pay into, you're trying to make 10 grand. If you are single and your bed doesn't even have a bed frame, you're trying to make $300. So the team and I've been noticing this, there are people who, they're not Don Eladio. They're reasonable people. They learn how to make their money. They're bringing in people like I just mentioned, people who have commitments in life and, have stuff going on in life. They're bringing in these people, retaining them, teaching them how to make money. Listen, in our industry, if you're not making money, something is wrong. Something is really wrong. Okay? And they're winning. And Don Eladio is sinking. And he won't change because the only thing Don Eladio cares about is his ego. He can say it's for his family name, it's for his legacy. He can say whatever he wants to say. But it's not true because his actions and the way he treats people speak louder than the words that he doesn't mean. There was a time that I was building a relationship, not romantic, just like a relationship with my Don Eladio. And I thought, damn, this guy might be cool. So I started to realize he doesn't mean anything he's saying. He's one of those people who have learned how to get a response out of people. And he's learned how to not care when his tactics don't work. This is a dangerous person. Not only do I not want this influence on my business and my income, I don't want this influence on my life. Everything's been better since he's been out. So, just wanted to share this. People can make money in network marketing. You should make money in network marketing. And if you're not, maybe it's because you don't trust the people that you're working with. Because I found that the people who were really serious about it, not that they didn't make six figures, but they were serious. And they were good and they were talented and they should have made six figures. I found that they leave for the same exact reasons. They just can't articulate it as well as people who have seen with their own eyes the BS of their leadership. So I don't discount those people anymore. Even the people who really wanted to do good and they didn't do anything. And it's easy for to say, well, you didn't even do what you were supposed to do, but in my opinion, there's a reason you didn't do what you're supposed to do. If you do not trust whatever system you just got into, you're not going to recruit. And you're not going to feel confident to go and try your hand at making a sale. And if everything is led by a narcissistic leader, no one's going to help you go out and make a sale. In our system, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take somebody, even the shyest person, you're supposed to take them out and help them make a sale. Everybody's supposed to make money. Doesn't happen with bad leadership. So that's what I have to share. I really need to go to bed. I keep doing retakes of this because it keeps going on too long, but I need to go to bed. I hope this shared insights with someone or helped someone. And I also believe this is applicable to many other organizations. USA Gymnastics, churches. Maybe there's non-for-profits, corporations. There's a lot of organizations that I think this applies to. And I think it's good to be aware so you can know what's for you and what's not. With that said, much love, much luck. Peace out.